Well, welcome back to the Gobby Gaffer, and as of yesterday, the 12th of November 2025, we have had the latest update from Sports Interactive on Football Manager 2026, and they're meant to have fixed a lot of things, and it's update 26.0.4. I think there is a newer one coming out, but this is for the console. So I fired my PS5 up and I downloaded it and installed it. I am still getting a lot of problems. So as you can see here, a whole host of changes. There's lots of them. I suggest you go and seek it out and read through them. They're meant to have fixed the lag on the match engine. I have to say, I played a few games after the patch last night, and the first game that I played, the first half was really laggy, didn't look good at all. Second half was okay, it was quite smooth. Subsequent games that I played, unfortunately, it was raining in game and it went back to being really stuttery, and it just wasn't a good experience watching it, if I'm honest. One of the things, or some of the things that they fixed, are numerous text overlaps and misaligned fixes. They've not done that for me. So if we go into game and go to recruitment, and you obviously along the top here, you're meant to find more. More is actually very, very misaligned. It's there, more. And I thought it wasn't there, but it's very misaligned. Not great at all. The other thing I'm finding is that when I'm trying to make substitutions in a game, the substitutes little insert, it jumps. So you think you've selected a player, you try and bring him into the game, and the next thing you notice, I actually did it. I did it yesterday a few times. I thought I brought a player in, carry on playing the game, and then all of a sudden you notice that you've got your substitute goalkeeper playing at centre half or something like that. It's jumping all of the time, which is really infuriating. So you've got to try and be really specific about it, and not only be specific, but keep your eye on it. Make sure, well, I am anyway. I mean, this might only apply to me, I don't know, but keep your eye on it and make sure the right player goes in as a substitute. Also, it's a real faff, because when you've made your substitutions, you have to be on the right page. I think it's selecting both in and out of possession tactics for the continue button to open up at the bottom. Otherwise, if you're not in that, you get text overlay that you can't click on that button. So for me at the moment, I'm not seeing a huge amount of benefit from these fixes. I'm not saying they haven't been fixed, but for me personally, it's not been great. I can only tell by going on and playing more of the game. So we are going to play a couple of games today, and you'll be able to make your own mind up, or at least you will on the edited highlights that I'm going to put on. I have played a lot of football. I have to say it's not the way I would normally do it, but because the game has been so buggy and so difficult to play, it has been very, very difficult to play. Making substitutions in a game is extremely, extremely difficult. And it's frustrating to the point of you want to put the game in the bin. But I'm sticking with it, and you know, I like I say, I'm glass half full. I think they will eventually fix it. I'm quite disappointed at this moment in time about yesterday's update and hotfix, because for me, I can't see an awful lot of the things I wanted fixed, and I can't see them having been fixed. But anyway, like I say, I have played quite a few games. I have made some transfers. What I decided to do was to, because obviously with Southport, I have no wage budget, I have no transfer budget. I tried to sell players, but as per usual, Football Manager, it was like banging your head against a brick wall. They would not let me sell any players. I couldn't even loan players out. I had players who were complaining they weren't getting enough game time, wanted to be loaned. I put them on the loan list, still no offers. So I couldn't do it. And I thought, right, okay, let's wait till January and see what happens in January. Maybe, when the transfer window opens, I know it's not applicable for non-league, but maybe the higher leagues will come in. Anyway, that's kind of happened. Got into January. 1 or 2 players have been sold. Now, once again, transfer activity, I can't find in the game where I can show you transfer activity. In FM24, transfer window, there was a lovely screen where you could go, you could see all your outs, all your ins, money that was spent, and all of that kind of thing. I can't find it in the console version, FM26. So you'll have to bear with me on that. 1 or 2 players have gone out, 1 or 2 players have come in. And in game, I'm actually in February of 2026. I know I've played a lot of football, but it was infuriating to the point where I thought, there's 1 or 2 things need to happen here. We need to get an update and a patch and a fix and whatever so that I can present the game in a better way. And I also need to get into a better financial position with Southport so I can actually show some, players going out, players coming in. Okay, let's get stuck into the game. Oh, and by the way, scrolling is still very intermittent. Sometimes you get onto a page, it will scroll. Other times, I am assuming that my right stick up and down will scroll on squad screens, on league tables. It's very important. You need to do that very quickly. You need to be able to access this, move up and down very quickly. At the moment, my scrolling is working, but believe me, it's very intermittent. Okay, like I say, played a lot of games. So I think the last game that you saw, we'd only played 2 games of the season. And I'm not going to read all of these results out, but I've tried a variety of formations and tactics. I did the 4-2-2-2. I went back to wing play. As you can see there, we got beat by Fylde and Worksop. We got beat by Leamington. Went on a little bit of a better patch there, but then we get down into October. We got beat by Oxford, Darlington, Chesterfield. The Chesterfield game was bonkers, 5-4, absolutely bonkers. And obviously, I don't expect Southport to win the league. That's not going to happen. The board requirement is mid-table, so these results are probably predictable, if you will. As you can see as well here, I've got a problem with time here. So that is, I don't think I can do anything with that. I'm not sure what's going on there, but the time is not displaying properly. But anyway, I'm going to point these things out as I go through. Yeah, I did get to a point, I think it might have been the Chesterfield game where we got beat 5-4. And I thought, right, time to go back to basics. So I did go back to basics. I used the premise that I always tell new players. How do you select a formation? How do you select a tactic? So I went back and I used my own information. Went into the squad, selected by ability. I wrote down all of the players that were my best players, current ability best players. It turned out that the front 4 players were my best players in the team. So I thought, right, okay, I don't want to play wing play because I've been using that. It's not been working. So we'll have a look at that in a minute, what I did. And since I've done that, actually, we've been doing quite a bit better. And if you look there, looking through, Slewey's scoring a lot of goals for us. Scrolling down, we got beat by Telford. We got beat by Kings Lynn. The Telford game was a bit of a weird one because I think we were losing 2-0. We came back to 2-2. Then they made it 3-2. But every time we scored, they scored. We got beat 4-3. Then we went on a little bit of a better run. Got beat by Darlington. They were top of the league at the time, so no surprise there. Bedford have got our number. This season, 2 games. They've taken 4 points off it. So Bedford have definitely got our number. Scrolling down a bit more. And results recently being okay. Buxton at home, 1-1 draw. Darlington at home, a 2-2 draw. Once again, Darlington, one of the better teams in the league. And the last game that I played last night, I played about, I don't know, maybe half a dozen games after the patch was issued. I downloaded it and installed it. And like I say, the first game I played. First half was just as per usual. It was like watching, it affects your eyes. You're kind of watching when the ball moves. It's and it's quite uncomfortable. Second half, you could see the difference. It was amazing. It was really smooth. The ball was moving. And it was lovely. And the lag seemed to go. But then the games that I played after that, it was raining and the judderiness came back again. So I don't know whether it's raining problems. I don't know. I mean, nobody likes the rain, do they? Okay, so the last game I played last night was Kidderminster. And the Kidderminster, who were top, we're not running away with the league, but obviously one of the best teams in the league. And we went to their place, and with this new tactic and formation now, we got a 3-1 win. Absolutely brilliant. So we are going to watch a couple of games today. You can make your own mind up. A home game against Alfreton and away game against Peterborough Sports, who are one of those teams who are up there, and we need to beat them if we are going to do well. And to be quite honest, we are doing quite well. We're doing a lot better, much better than I ever thought we would do. Now, I know I can hear, I mean, in the comments and stuff, I can hear you saying, I wish you'd have put more games on camera because I'd have liked to have seen the progress. I know it's not something I would normally do, but we are in a little bit of a unique situation at the moment with FM26 because so many people are complaining that it's poor. It has played very poorly for me. I did say in my live stream I wasn't enjoying the game. And I don't know whether I'm still enjoying the actual game itself. I'm enjoying where we are. Southport, top of the league, 34 games played. We're on 69 points. South Shields do have a game in hand on us. But as you can see there, Peterborough Sports are in 8th position. So that should be a reasonably tough game today. But we've just beaten Kidderminster, which is an absolutely fantastic result. Okay, one of the really important things that happened when you were last with me was that my goalkeeper got injured and he was out for 6 to 7 weeks, Renshaw. Since then, he's actually on his 3rd injury now. I think he's out for about 2 months at the moment. And if you go into his profile, it actually says he's very injury prone now. I can't rely on him. Fortunately, my 43-year-old goalkeeper, who comes in as a stand-in, is quite good. And he does okay for us. But I can't really rely on that. So, like I say, I've sold a couple of players. So when I say I've sold them, they've moved on. Didn't get any money for them because all of my players are on 1-year contracts. So no money. But what it has done is it's freed up wage budget. And also, we had a right winger. And I'm not using wingers in this system. Well, I am. We'll see it a lot. We'll look at that in a second. I did have a winger in on loan. Come January, they took him back. Great. Because he was on £500 a week. So I've released quite a bit of wage budget. So I brought in Rob Layton, 36-year-old goalkeeper, which is fine for this level. A 36-year-old goalkeeper is, to be honest, probably quite young for this level. And he looks all right. He's a 3.5 star. My 43-year-old, it's only a 2-star and getting worse. I brought a goalkeeper in. The other thing I have noticed as well in the... so I brought a new chief scout in, an English lad. I don't know whether this is a bug in the game or not, but most of the players that he brings to me, and I am in the recruitment. I'm doing... Let me just show you this into recruitment. I am going into recruitment and I'm doing recruitment focuses. So I've got plenty of focuses set up for him. And he comes in with a lot of South American players. Now, I do have Argentina and Brazil loaded. And I don't know. I mean, once again, can you see here, look? That is overlapping there. That's not great, is it? You know, I mean, every time I open a screen, there's some glitch on it somewhere. So, but yeah, I've got recruitment focuses set up. And he's bringing players in, but a lot of them... So I did try and sign... I tried to sign an Argentinian, work permit, wasn't allowed. I tried to sign a Spaniard, work permit, wasn't allowed. So I thought, right, okay, getting the gist of this, I can only sign English, Scottish and Welsh players, and Irish, I suppose. So let me just see if I can get back to that screen again. So I did bring in an English midfield player. I was short in midfield, and obviously because of the way that the transfer system works in non-league, I may well still go in for somebody else. I'm not quite sure yet. I need to get my head around whether I can actually, if the game will let me, move players on selling wise, or you know, like loan players out, and it releases that wage budget. That's the thing. I'm trying to grab that wage budget back. The money coming in, non-existent. Get the wage budget in. So I brought this lad in. He's on £90 a week. I don't, bearing in mind the loan player that we had in was on £500 a week. So I've done quite a good deal with this lad, I think. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Harrison and Nejman, English 22-year-old, central midfield player. He's got a passing of 10, vision of 11. I did ask for a playmaker. At this level, that classes as a playmaker. But very determined. His mentals are quite good, actually, and he's not too bad on the physicals either. But like I say, at this level, you have to cut your cloth, and he is actually, you know, one of the better players around for as a 22-year-old Englishman at this level. Okay, let's get into some football, and as we're going through, I'll try and point out the things that are still happening to me. And let's watch a couple of games as well and see how smooth or not smooth they are. Just before the game kicks off, there is one of the players that's gone out. Rio Alston went to Warrington. Obviously got no money for him, but it did release his wages. So that's one of the players that went out. Okay, for today's game against Alfreton, we've got the new goalkeeper, Leighton, in goal. Back four of Preston, Keane, Moore and Pike. The two fullbacks are playing as wing-backs to bomb on. We've got a midfield three of Lloyd, the new lad Nejman, and Tucker is the DM. Sloot is up front, scores goals for fun. The two wingers that we've got, I'm playing them. Obviously, Nahu is right-footed, so he's cutting in, and I've got a cutting on the other side as well. So although they are playing in a winger position, basically what it gives us is a front three with the wingers bombing on round them, and it seems to be working. We're playing a controlled possession, and I've tweaked it a little bit, but not too much. I've left all the default instructions in, more or less, and we do seem to be playing quite well. And of course now I'm trying to scroll to have a look at the subs bench, and right stick not scrolling. I've got to go over here and use this to you know, bring it down a little bit. So I'm just trying to organise my subs bench basically. Fitness, Pickles is on a fitness. Renshaw is still injured. I suppose I could really do with bringing Macmillan. Now let me see if it'll let me do this. Who do we take out of there? Burgess, Hilton. Now you see how it's jumped there. I'm just holding down X, and in theory that I should be able to bring that in, and it's jumped. So not ideal, if I'm honest. So I'm trying to move. Oh, actually it has dropped him in, but I don't know who it's dropped him in for. I think it's taken Burgess out, and I didn't really want Burgess out. Let's see if I can move. Okay, no, it's done it again. So I'm trying to move Burgess onto here instead of Russ. Burgess, right, finally. You see, this is a problem. Trying to put games on camera and that kind of thing's going on. Believe me, it's frustrating. Your blood pressure starts to rise, and trying to make an entertaining video, it's not easy. But what I'm trying to do in this video now is just show you the glitches that I've still got. Okay, so a highlight on 4 minutes. Right, see, can you see that now? I don't know whether that's coming through, but to me, that hurts your eyes. But it is raining again. So maybe the rain is causing a problem. Ball's in the back of the net. Danny Lloyd has scored a goal there for us. Pike is the assist maker. But we are 1-0 up at home. I have gone to an attacking mentality, but I think you can see there we're still getting that judderiness as the ball is moving and as players are moving, and we're getting that judderiness. So they said they fixed it. When it's raining, as far as I'm concerned, it's not fixed. And unfortunately, at the moment, a lot of games seem to be attracting the rain. Alfredson give the ball away down that right-hand side. Still very blocky, isn't it? Still very blocky. But I mean, I pointed it out now. I'm not going to keep saying that. I'll just commentate on the game more now. Moving forward with the ball. Chips the ball into the box. And Toure smashes the ball in the back of the net. And that is given as well. You can always wonder when that linesman runs down as though he's going to run down and put his flag up. No, he didn't do that. So we are winning 2-0 now. And this is what I've been seeing. You know, I mean, obviously I've watched every game that I've played, and this is what I've been seeing. This front three work really, really well together. But obviously it all depends on having good playmakers in the middle to feed that ball over to them. Even the wing-backs, you know, can stick a ball over the top. And it seems to be working very, very well. 6 shots, 3 on target, XG of 0.73. Just before half-time now, Pike takes the throw and it's still chucking it down. Believe me, it doesn't always rain in Southport. I've been to Southport many times and it doesn't always rain in Southport. But then we are in February, I suppose, so maybe that's... we did have one very nice match around the December period where it was snowing and the pitch looked quite realistic with a little bit of snow on it. It was... not too bad at all. Okay, addressing the team. Yes, of course we're pleased. And obviously we can see there whether there's any tiredness or not. And there doesn't seem to be. So we won't make any changes at half time. 56 on the clock now. Very poor ball forward there from Alfredson. Ball's played into the middle. Tucker, the new lad there. A nice little touch. One thing I think I have identified is the Mohicans have disappeared, I think. And as Daniel Lloyd smashes in his second goal of the game, and my new player there has got blonde hair, and I've not seen that too many times in games. So the hairstyles seem to be a little bit more realistic. I mean, obviously, I'm not too bothered about hairstyles. It doesn't really make much difference to the gameplay, does it? But... It's little things like that. I mean, look at the rendering in the background. You know, it's. I think a lot of my games playing in non-league football are going to be tree watch, aren't they? There's some beautiful trees in the background. Whoever's coded those in, full marks because they look absolutely stunning, and the houses as well. Once again, Southport looks a very, very nice place to live. Okay, so we've got 68 minutes on the clock. 1 or 2 players looking very tired now. So we're going to go to in possession. And obviously in here we can see that players are tired. The new lad, Nejman, is very, very tired. So herein lies the next problem. I'll have to get my big head out of the way to show you this one. So I've made my substitutions now, and what I want to do now is I want to come down into this bottom corner here and click continue, and I can't because there's text over right there. If I do expand, that doesn't work. If I do circle, that doesn't work. What I do have to do is I have to go back into both, and then we can confirm. Now, maybe that's a way of them saying, right, you need to make sure that the subs you've made are going to work in and out of possession. If it is, okay, fine. But that text overlay looks very abnormal. It doesn't look like it should be there. Okay, well, we didn't get any problems with actually making substitutions. Believe me, it does happen. Particularly if you want to make a substitution that's at the very, very bottom. That seems to have a glitch where you kind of hold X, and then you want to move it. It jumps to the next player. So not great, really. Let's get back into the game. Well, normally we can be a little bit susceptible to conceding goals late on. There was a game that I was winning 2-0, and the opposition scored 3 goals from about the 82nd minute onwards and beat us 3-2. We do get a highlight here, and is the ball going to come to, yep, Abby has picked that up for Alfreton, and it's still raining, but actually, yeah, so we've conceded a late goal, but the main thing there is, it is raining. It's not raining as badly, but that's a lot smoother. I don't know whether you can see that, but to my eyes, that is a lot smoother all of a sudden. The rain seems to have eased off. Let's hope the next game it's not raining, and let's see if we see a very smooth match engine. Okay, well, we're into 3 minutes of time added on. 94 minutes and 23 seconds on the clock. And Murphy Worrell now, he's going down that side. Sometimes we do have an immediate reply, so when we concede a goal, we will stick one in at the other end. And we've done exactly that there. So I've seen that quite a lot. You know, you go, you lose a goal, but then you come straight back, and Genoa there scores for us. It's now 4-1. Very nice goal, to be quite honest. Nice little, you know, obviously worked on the training ground, this one. And Genoa is just waiting there for the ball to come in. He knows it's coming in. We've worked on that one on the training ground. And the game finishes. Obviously, we're going to say that we're delighted. South Shields did win their catch-up game. They won that 3-2, so they've gone top of the league now. Okay, I don't know whether you saw that then as I was scrolling. I was allowed to scroll, but as I'm moving the cursor around with my left trigger, it's jumping all of the time. So not ideal. It's just done it again there. It's not ideal, that is it really. You don't really want to see that. You want the game to be a lot more polished than that. Okay, so we have got an away game next. It's at Peterborough Sports, and that will be quite a tough game because they're looking for a playoff spot themselves. So we'll see you in the dugout for that one. Okay, let's hope Peterborough is nice and sunny today so we can see whether the match engine plays or not. Okay, an unchanged team today. Leighton in goal, back four Preston, Keane, Moore and Pike. The midfield three Lloyd, Nejman and Tucker. The two wide players, well, actually, an extra two strikers, Genoa and Torre, and Slew is going to play through the middle. And another little glitch there, as you can see on the Peterborough Sports team sheet there. All of the numbers are overlapping each other. Once again, not great. And unfortunately, once again, it is raining. I don't know whether that's a glitch in the game, but it seems to be every game at the moment seems to be raining. Nejman there picks the ball up in midfield. Nice ball to Torre. Lovely ball through. And Slew, for once, fires wide. And he normally buries those. Okay, Peterborough Sports now. Very, very poor crowding today. Very poor indeed. Maybe the rain's putting them off. Okay, let's see if we can nick this ball and mount an attack. We have been pretty free scoring, but there's the odd games now and again. I mean, it's going to be like that. Football is like that, isn't it? Ball over the top, quite stuttery and juddery there. Nicely picked up by Keane. Oh, it wasn't the greatest of balls, was it really? Slew. Ball on your right hand side, mate. You've got that's the one. That's the one. Pike there, and he's wing back roll. Ball's in the back of the net. Mo Torre once again. Mo Torre does score a lot of goals, but then this front three plus Lloyd can bang the goals in the back of the net. So we are winning 1-0 at Peterborough Sports, but there is only 5 minutes on the clock. And Pike fires a low ball in there. I have got crosses to be low and whipped because, you know, well, the instruction on that is it causes havoc in the penalty area. It does. Okay, so unfortunately at the moment I'm not getting to show you. I mean, there was a little bit in the last game when the rain seemed to ease off. It did seem to get a little bit, and that's Nejman's goal there, our new signing, so that's very nice for him. Yeah, if the rain eases off, it seems to be a lot smoother experience. When it's chucking it down like it is now, that seems to throw a spanner in the works, and it is very, very, you know, it's very bitty and blocky, isn't it? Not great, really. Well, we are winning 2-0 now at Peterborough Sports. 20 minutes on the clock. 2-0 in the lead. I mean, generally the opposition will score a goal, so we probably need to get the third. We're not great at... well, we concede late goals, let's put it that way. We saw one of those in the previous game. And a ball fired across there. I think, did the keeper make a save? Not too sure. So coming up to half-time, Peterborough Sports have got an XG of 0.09. I thought they might have put a little bit of a better fight up than this, but the crowd don't seem very encouraged by them. There's very, very few people in. Okay, we are going to be pleased at half-time. Once again, we'll look down the squad and... I mean, one of the things I think that's helped us is we did get knocked out of the cups because obviously we were in the FA Cup and we were in the FA Trophy as well. We did get knocked out of those fairly early on. And when you're in those, you know, obviously we don't have the option, and this is another problem with the rest in the squad behind a paywall, is I can't get my head around that. I can't understand whoever at Sports Interactive decided that it's a bit like saying if you want your goalkeeper to catch the ball, you have to pay £7.49. Like Magic Sponge, £1.49. What, are we all a gang of children or something? Just because it's on the console doesn't mean to say that there aren't adults playing this game. Once again, I will say I want this game to be a management simulation. I don't want it to be a silly child's game. But for me, that's unforgivable. So we can't rest the squad now. You know, it was very easy in FM24. Click the date and you just select today's date, rest your squad for 2, 3, 5, 7 days, whatever. Dead easy. It's behind a paywall. Absolutely ridiculous. I think they have actually changed the shirt colourings as well. I think I remember playing Peterborough Sports at the beginning of the season, and the difference between the two shirts wasn't great, if I'm honest. Okay, Peterborough Sports now playing the ball around the back, and I mean, they've got plenty of time to score 2 goals here. I have dropped off attacking, I've gone positive now. Ball's in the box, and that one hits the base of the post, so we do get away with that one there. Ball slung in again, and they get another chance at it, and we hoof it out. And we'll probably wait a long time to get that ball back because there's hardly anybody in that stand. Okay, Peterborough Sports now, and they're trying to make a bit of a go of this game, so they're putting on a little bit of pressure, which you would expect, obviously. They're not going to get very far with headers like that, though, are they? So Leighton playing the ball out now, too keen. I think it's one of the things I have adjusted. I've got my keeper just playing the ball out short to a full-back or a centre-back. I'm not a big believer, even in non-league, I'm not a big believer in, that's in the back of the net, I'm not a big believer in hoofing the ball out, even in non-league. I like to try and get my players playing the ball from the back and hopefully not losing it. If you hoof it, it's a 50-50 chance, isn't it? This is a very nice goal. Ganoa there keeping himself just onside. A ball from Slew, and it's in the back of the net. It is 3-0. So is that 6-7 goals now in the last 2 games. And well, fortunately for me, on a game that's what I put on live. So that's very nice indeed. Nejman now plays a nice ball to this right hand side. Pike, a terrific player. I have got to start making a decision about who I'm going to give new contracts to, and if anybody, Pike has got to be one of them. But I do have to be careful of the wage budget, because if they're on £450 a week at the moment, you can pretty much guarantee they'll want £650 a week on a new contract. So I do have to be very careful. There's going to be a lot of juggling to do in the transfer window with Southport. Okay, just about coming up to substitution o'clock. We'll watch this highlight. Ball's headed forward there, and there's not too many of our players who are forward. But that's okay, that's fine. You know, even the strikers have got to do a little bit of defensive work. And very, very easy for Leighton there. So is he going to bowl this out once more? Or is he going to commentator's curse and he's going to hoof it? No, he's going to Maury's going to be one of the players that comes off. Okay, 4 substitutions made there. Worrell, Tabone, Collins and Amaral have all come on. 3-0 up, so we can make those subs. I have got 1 or 2 exclamation marks there, but I have just tried to shift players around, and I don't know again whether this is a glitch in the game, but I've found if, let's say for instance, you've got a central midfielder like Amaral there, for instance, he's an attacking midfielder in midfield. I found that even if he's in that position, in the out of possession tactic, you still get the exclamation mark, and he's in exactly the same position. So I don't know whether that's but once again, let me just point out down here this text overlay down here that I can't seem to get rid of. I have to go into both and then I confirm my choice. So once again, text overlay that's kind of hindering what I want to do. Well, we've yet to concede our late goal. We always concede a late goal. It's kind of written in stone. Free kick there over the top. I don't know whether Peterborough Sports are going to put up a late challenge here for a goal. So 4 minutes of time added on, and it looks like our new keeper is going to keep a clean sheet. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. We have got the ball though. Ball forward to Slew. Nice little ball back to Ganoa there. Onto that left side. Collins now chasing down there. I normally try to make one of the substitutions that I normally make are my wing backs. They do a lot of work. So we should have some fresh legs on the pitch on both sides there. And it keeps us a good attacking force. But it looks like my keeper is going to keep. Yes, he has. He's kept a nice clean sheet. And we'll address the team. And once again, we are going to say we're delighted. And this system and formation seems to be working very, very nicely for us at the moment. And with a South Shields 1-0 loss at home, we do go top of the league. So 36 games played, 75 points. South Shields are now 2 points behind us. It's a bit bonkers, this save, if I'm honest. Well, I'm not quite sure which part of my brain I had this tactic and formation stored away in, but it kind of seemed to make sense, and it's certainly making sense on the pitch. At the moment, I'm not too... I know it's probably a little bit... Because Southport in real life are bottom of the league. The board requirement, middle of the table. We are top of the table at the moment. We could go up as champions, which is a bit bonkers and probably a bit unrealistic. I do admit that. It is a bit unrealistic. But I don't think at the moment we should take these saves too seriously, because there's obviously more patches, more hot fixes, more updates to come out. And as I've shown today, there's lots of glitches in my game, lots of them. Match engines still not been fixed, text overlays, jumping when you're trying to scrolling not work. There's lots of things. There is a new update out for PC, I think 26.0.5. I'm assuming we will get that at some stage on the console. Maybe sometime next week. I don't know. Obviously, I'm going to be back with the next episode of this on Monday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, obviously, for these uploads. And at some stage, maybe we'll start to see some improvement in the things that I've pointed out today. But as it is, it's going very, very well, and I think it's actually testing the game out really well at the moment. This save is testing the game out really, really well. Maybe a little bit unrealistic, Southport being top of the league. But then who knows? It's got to be Gaffer. I'm a master tactician. Okay, I'm going to go away, play a few more games off camera. I won't play as many this time, because obviously, even with the update, them glitches are still there. It's just something we're going to have to get used to. Well, I can edit most of them out, but, it's something I need to get used to. Okay, play a few games off camera, and we'll be back very shortly. Can we get promoted in my first season managing Southport? I don't know. It's a possibility. We'll see you very shortly.